Hi everyone. Before we get started with the final episode, I wanted to say a couple of things. And I thought about whether I should put this in for a while. It feels wildly self-indulgent in some ways, but I feel I owe it to you and I owe it to myself to talk about this. I want to apologize for the overall quality and tone of this LP. Let's Play for me is
What is it?
about
Very
showing
well.
games off
Let me.
and showing off our love for games and video games in general. And broadly, it is, when we do it blind, about having you guys see the joy a player feels when they play something new, and seeing that enthusiasm and seeing that player fall in love with something in a way that you might have, or that you might want to. Bloodborne wasn't that. Ultimately, I knew that there was a problem with the Bloodborne LP, maybe 3 or 4 recording sessions in. And I convinced myself, and I told all of you that I was continuing, because I wanted to give the game a fair chance, and that I wanted to come to love the game. And I think I was lying to both myself and you when I said that. I don't think those things were ever going to happen. The real reason that I kept playing, and the reason that I played to the end, is because I was afraid that if I didn't complete Bloodborne, people would say that I wasn't good enough, and therefore any criticism that I had of the game was not valid. And so I kept playing simply to prove that I can beat this game. And that is a horrible place to LP a game from, and it wasn't something that I should have let happen. We should have chosen to give it up or LP something else. I should have done something, and I didn't. For those who've followed along the entire way, thank you so much for doing so. And if you really do like Bloodborne, if you love this game, please don't let my criticism get to you in any way. It doesn't come from a great place to begin with, and I don't mean to insult you or the games that you like in general. And with that, thank you all very much for watching, and please enjoy Bloodborne episode 42. Victory is mine.
End.
What is this? I got an umbilical cord too. What does that mean? The Great Relic, also known as the Cord of Eye. A Great Relic, also known as the Cord of Eye, every infant Great One has this precursor to the umbilical cord. And then yearns for a surrogate. This cord granted Mensis audience with Mergo, but resulted in the stillbirth of their brains. Okay, I'm not going to eat that. That doesn't seem like a good idea. Anyway.
Well, do you remember that note we found in the lecture building? 3 third umbilical cords?
Yeah, I suppose there are probably 2 more somewhere.
There are 2. Well, actually there are 3 more. But if you want to get the true final ending, the true final boss fight and ending, you have to have 3. It's alright now. I'm not going to make you suffer anymore. Oh no! Oh, doll.
Oh, did you set everything on fire?
For 5 minutes.
Good hunter,
Don't skip this.
you have
How?
come. Dawn will soon break. This night and this dream will end. Gerhman awaits you at the foot of the great tree.
Do you want to come with me?
Very well. Let the echoes become your strength.
Like, I'm going to wake the windfish. I want you to become a seagull and fly off with
stand
me. That'd be
close.
great.
Now shut your eyes.
It's your choice.
Do it.
77, which is the best number.
No.
77.
We have round numbers. We are ending the game on a round number.
77. 77 is a great number. It's 2 sevens.
Yeah, but it's not a 20 or a multiple of 20. Right. Where is he? What's up, Gerhman?
Good hunter. You've done well. The night is near its
Excellent.
end. Now, I will show you mercy. You will die, forget the dream, and awake under the morning sun.
Hi.
You will be freed from this terrible hunter's dream.
Nat? Okay, wait.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, so you have a choice here, as you can see.
Okay.
Either you submit your life, and that's it. That's the end.
Okay.
That's the end of Bloodborne, forever. Or, if you refuse, something interesting may happen. It's entirely down. Do you want to have a wicked sick boss fight, or do you just want the nightmare to be over?
Fine, we'll do this.
Dear, oh dear. What was it? The hunt? The blood? Or the horrible dream?
I was promised a wicked sick boss fight. That's pretty much it.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Oh, Eileen's mission was to kill all
always
hunters,
comes
that
down
includes
to
you,
the
Gerhman.
hunters. Help her to clean up after these sorts of messes.
Oh, he has a scythe.
Yeah.
Tonight, Gerhman joins the hunt.
Awesome. Right, okay.
This actually is surprisingly not the actual true final boss, but it's the actual final boss for you.
Ooh! You've got friggin' Zalsalamel's attack?
Yeah, he's got a scythe. He can.
Yeah, I didn't realize
reach
he'd be
you
like,
from,
literally Zalsalamel from
Yeah.
Soul Calibur. Oh, well, this is more exciting now because they're using characters' attacks from Game of Light.
Oh dear. He's also basically like the best hunter there is. So
Yeah, he's a badass.
wait, did he just uppercut you?
Yeah, he did.
Jesus. Ooh.
I wish the thing into the Beast Roll was more reliable than it actually is. It's very, very unclear when you're on cooldown you can't Beast Roll. I just lost lock. Like, you know, there. I was mashing Beast Roll and it just didn't come out. I don't know why.
I feel like there should be some lore against Staff Peaceful. Especially on Gerhman. And then Gerhman got pissed. You
bloody
cheating
shotgun now.
scoundrel!
Oh, he got me. That's good work, Gerhman.
You must accept your death. Be freed.
That's very good work. Don't know if I can visceral attack you, but I was still impressed by that visceral attack.
So the first time I played through Bloodborne, actually, to be fair, I had kind of had enough. I was simultaneously left feeling like I'd had enough, and also feeling really underwhelmed by the Murgo's Wet Nurse boss fight. And so I just said, okay, cool, you know what? I submit my life. I've had enough. But on my subsequent playthroughs, I have chosen to play again. I just wonder what those pillars in the distance are. Other themes like this.
Oh god, the game does not like this. Lag like crazy there.
Yeah,
Nope.
that's my connection is definitely suffering for it. You trying to save your beast rewards for the second half of the fight?
Yep. Exactly what that is.
Considering that's when he's gonna.
That shotgun is really unfair. I want that.
Well, if you kill him, you can actually get his. You can actually get his weapons. On your next playthrough. What the?
Okay.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so I mean, in retrospect, yeah, him standing still and doing a big glowy thing, we probably should have left him to it.
Yeah, maybe. We'll try to backstab him during it. I can't backstab with the dual blades, unfortunately, which has always been a bit of a downside of them. Oh, damn it. Alright, where's my bloodstain gone? Does it matter? Probably not. Do I want it? Yes.
If you want to get up to
Alright,
nice.
go. If I can get him pressed up against the wall, he's dead. Unless, you know, he just decides he's going to tank through my dual blade stabbing him. Which he can do if he wants to.
He's the final boss. He gets that role.
Yeah, that's fair. I understand that attack now. Again, this stance is a mistake. The gun is, you know, the gun is okay.
He is relentless.
Yes, have some gun. Get shot at.
Is he shouting spam? Spam!
No, maybe. Blem. I actually got him with that.
Damn.
I know, if I hadn't backed off there. Alright. You know, the problem is that I'm almost certain I'm going to have to stop playing at some point. Not because I'm running out of time, because I'm going to run out of blood vials.
Yeah.
Not specifically this battle, but, you know, generally. I'm not going to be able to finish today because I don't have enough blood vials to deal with this fight.
I think you had like 124 in there.
Yeah, I know, but I'm losing 20 per attempt.
That's fair enough. No.
I only get 6 attempts, really, maybe 7.
It's alright, I mean, you know, we're coming out of time, so, you know, we can always leave it for another time.
Oh, he missed.
Oh. Gerhman, how did you miss that?
Well, I'm out of healing, so now the plan is to just not get hit, which is quite hard.
Gets it once. Excellent.
Yeah.
Gerhman,
I
you
can actually resolve this problem somewhat.
What, by using the runes to increase the number of vials you can hold?
No, what I could I could do that, actually. I might do that. I've only got one which gives me +1. Still probably worth.
I mean, you might as well. I mean, it's not like you're going to do anything else with it.
That's true.
Are you going to just grind for blood vials?
No, I'm not going to grind for blood vials. I've got 80,000 souls inside the Gerhman boss fight, so all I can do is reawaken.
Yeah.
I thought we replaced out this gem with this attack up at full HP, but no, we didn't. Yeah, that sucks. I do wish we had more interesting blood gems, but we don't. So, okay, so we wanted runes in one. Yeah, we don't really have anything. Huh.
Don't you have one that increases the number of vials? Yeah, we got. There
Yeah,
we
by
go.
one.
Well, okay, yeah. I mean, you may as well have that instead of the more runes.
Yeah.
So have that instead of me.
I was actually going to up this max HP.
Oh, fair enough.
Actually, no, this was better. I don't know, maybe. I did the calculations on this a while back, on what effective HP was like. I think this is better, I can't remember. Anyway.
Okay, right, we'll have to go and take out. You got to go and take out the. You got to go and take out more blood vials because it doesn't.
No, I've got 20. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't automatically update it.
That's unfortunate. I'm going to not get irritated with the system. There we go.
Do you ever feel like a lot of From Software's the success of the Soulsborne games kind of rests on the fact that things are just sort of just different from how games usually operate?
A lot of thoughts. Where are my souls?
You did get the souls last time, didn't you? There we go.
Gerhman, I know, like, just leave me alone so I can go and get this done.
We shall reawaken 5 feet
In
away
the
from you.
dream. Yes, exactly. Right, okay. And then
Yeah,
this
just
allows me to go
angry,
over
swinging
here.
his side about.
There we go. That gives me 5 more attempts. Approximately. We're best to get it done now rather than to wait.
trying to go for the whole getting up against a wall thing?
That, and I'm trying to conserve blood vials by using more rally,
Yeah. Makes sense.
which means, I have to risk dying a little bit more. But probably were. Sometimes you'll just hit for your health. That was a good bit of damage, that. He just disappeared for a moment. Like, what happened?
Flicked to the ground. Every time you pull out the Augur of Ebritas, my stream deteriorates into this blocky pixely mess.
Really?
Yeah. Fire effects? No. Flowers? No. It's just all this big fireball? No. It's the Augur of Ebritas. Nat, you can't just.
I can do what I want. Okay. While he's Super Saiyan, I'm just gonna wait. This might run out. It seemed to the last time, or might be HP based, I'm not sure. Yep. That's actually not what we want. We prefer the other stance. This one has more super armor. Alright, Gerhman. I think I've got this now. There we go. It's a bit boring, but it does work. Nope. Ah, shit. Unless, you don't anticipate an attack you've seen 1,000 times and just get it wrong.
Oh shit!
Okay, that's new. That is new, Gerhman. That is new. What? Oh no, you don't. I wasn't even doing a counterable thing. He's just like
countering your life.
You must accept your death. Be freed from the night.
But Gerhman, because you've killed us in a by challenging us to a boss fight, we no longer have the option to accept our deaths. There's literally only one way we can do this now, is for us to kill you. You fool. Either that, or stop playing Bloodborne and uninstall it from the PS4.
I'm not really sure what the to do about the super armor in Phase 2 yet. No, in Phase 2, I don't know why. In Blue Phase.
Yeah.
There's Phase 1, Phase 2, Blue Phase. In Blue Phase, he has super armor on absolutely everything.
He is super Gerhman Blue.
And unsure of how to deal with the super armor and everything. Because my Blades of Mercy are based on the idea that you can hit something multiple times. Now, the reality is... Yeah, we'll take that as mulligan.
Must accept your death.
Yeah, the reality is that I should switch ideally to another weapon for that, maybe the whip, but also... Is it really me if I don't try and kill him with the dual blades that I like so much? Probably not.
It's a question that only you, as the hunter, can answer.
I will say that this is probably like the second best boss fight that this game has.
After the Shadows of Yharnam.
Yeah. Like, there's strategy to the Shadows of Yarn that isn't to this, but, you know, this is still fine. Like, you know, it has an engaging first, second, third, fourth, fifth, first, second, and third phase. Like, I'm having to pay attention here.
Yeah. Actually, using the Blades of Mercy, I can see is pretty much the only way, really, to do this fight without driving yourself mad. Trying to do this fight with the Hunter's Axe is not fun. And not
I can
easy,
imagine
tell
it wouldn't
you.
be. He's very, very fast.
Interesting little loop you got yourself into there. And then he just sort of got tired and decided to just not attack you.
Yeah.
Right, oh, go away. Bit further. What's even hitting you?
There's no projectile on the fucking screens, I can't say.
It does seem to be easier to dodge to his right, your left, doesn't it? That's not
Yep.
just me imagining it, no.
I don't think so, no. It's because the way his scythe is.
Yeah. Oh shit, that's it. Can we try and goad him into, or at least wait out for him to change back weapons? Because it was you were definitely having an easier time of it with his previous.
I mean, maybe, but he does not care about Beast Roar.
Not in this phase anyway.
Nope. Got him. There we go.
The end.
The end. Yeah, I like that fight. That was a good fight. Oh, it's the secret final boss. Hi.
This would appear to be Flora. Come to me, my pretty.
Julio.
Oh,
Oh, we're friends.
Time for a big hug.
Yay! We made friends. Oh, now we're the. So this is the best ending.
We have become Gerhman.
No, I get to stay with Doll Friend. Problem solved.
Aww.
And so, the hunt begins again.
Hooray! Cool, that was a game.
That was a game. That was an experience. And I know that, especially the latter stages of your playthrough, were not mega cheerful. Surely there must have been some parts that you enjoyed. Wouldn't you say that?
I told you there are 2 parts I enjoyed. Shadows of Yharnam and Gerhman, and then... Oh, and also the Resident Evil 4 part.
Okay. And nothing else.
So...
Did the general atmosphere, the setting, not stir your imagination?
So... It's London. Like, it's literally the most boring setting you could possibly make for me.
What, Victorian
because
London?
Because it's literally Victorian London, which I have seen. How many times have we seen this, right? Oh, there's like Lovecraftian stuff in Victorian London. There's a werewolf, right?
Yeah.
It is literally the most common setting I think I've seen for a historic thing ever.
Okay.
So, like, it had no effect on me. I just sat there and I went, oh, I've seen this before. That there's nobody to talk to that's interesting, apart from the doll, I guess.
I mean, you didn't really go out of your way to try and find other people to talk to. You missed a whole bunch of people who you could talk to.
Every red door I ever walked past here.
Yeah, but there were other red lights that you just completely missed because you didn't look.
Yeah, well then, that's the game's problem for being an open-ended game. I just didn't meet anyone interesting the entire game because I chose the path that I did. And by the time I was so badly disengaged, you were like, why didn't you go and do other things? I was like, well, there's nobody interesting, I don't care.
On the other hand, if we had done the optional things, they may have turned out to be interesting. For instance,
Yes,
the Gerhman fight. I mean, the Gerhman fight. You're saying that that was one of the 2 things that you enjoyed. That's an entirely optional fight.
Well, then it shouldn't be optional. It shouldn't. If you've got good things in the game, why are you making them optional? Get people to do them. Show them, right? Why is Gerhman not the final boss fight of this game and some rando, like, made thing that doesn't actually do anything for its entire boss fight? The boss. Huh? Don't know. Gerhman's interesting. Gerhman's like being someone you've talked to the entire game, right?
Yeah.
In theory,
I mean,
he disappeared. Halfway through my playthrough.
I think probably under most circumstances, probably most people would fight him. I mean, I didn't fight him the first time I played through this.
Right, but so that's the problem, right? You've just been deprived of something really good because of a random choice that you made at the end of the game because you were tired.
No, it just means that I kind of have another reason to play through it. It means that every time I play through it, there's something new. Different ways I can do things.
No, right. I mean, maybe you can design a game for New Game Plus. Chrono Trigger is designed that way to be played one more time, right?
Yeah. I mean, Bloodborne Bloodborne is built around New Game Plus, as with all the Soulsborne games.
But like, I think it just doesn't make a compelling experience at all. All right, so before I go, I love LPing. I love talking to you guys and playing games and being with T. Right, there is no problem with ever having done this, and the experience itself.
But
I
am going to suffer for what I have inflicted on you.
No, like, we're going to play a game that's actually going to be one that we enjoy playing. Like, I don't see the point. I played this game because I wanted a challenge, right? And ultimately, I didn't really get very much of a challenge from it, if I'm honest. No boss took me more than... I think Amygdala's the record. It took me 5 attempts to beat Amygdala.
I mean, there were rather hard boss fights, which were probably a lot harder than Amygdala, but we missed them because they were all optional.
Yeah, like, why? This game's meant to be hard. Give me hard boss fights.
Yeah, but you have to go out and look for them.
Yeah, no, don't. Why? Right? You have to go out and look for like specifically hard things. If this game's advertised as being difficult, make it difficult, right? The problem is that I've got is the primary gameplay of Bloodborne is just incredibly boring 90% of the time. There is no thought required when you're attacking anything. You are just hitting a button and that's it, right? The stamina management you've got is minimal at best in terms of what it's doing, right? Mm-hmm. It's basically a no fun allowed button where you run out of stamina, no fun allowed, you just can't do anything because otherwise we couldn't program enemies to have any sort of fun interaction. The interstitial content of the game, right, is such that enemies are incredibly dull to fight. None of them have moves that are actually threatening in any real way. The problem is that their damage is so highly stacked that you can just instantly die if something combos you, and you're like, well, you weren't fundamentally interesting to fight. I'm just dying because I'm so bored that I'm not paying attention anymore, right?
Right.
Offensively, all I did for 90% of that game was hammer one button, R1, over and over again to attack something. There were some things, like using spells that required some thought, but they don't work. Like using spells that required some thought, but they require resources to spend, probably not worth doing most of the time. So you just R1ing into most enemies. There's no combo system to think of, right? There's no system where I can press R1, R2, R3, whatever, to make the offense any more interesting than it is. There's no weapon switching, right? So I can't switch from one weapon to the next, Yeah. I can't hit somebody with a Blade of Mercy, see that they've staggered, in the hit stun, switch to the spear, and then keep attacking, right? That would be a great way of keeping me engaged with how I'm fighting these enemies, but that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Or, if I killed an enemy, I could get a bonus if I killed another enemy that was close by.
All signed and sealed.
Hello? I killed you.
Now, let's begin the transfusion.
Oh, I suppose it's New Game Plus.
Yeah. The game literally boots you straight into New Game Plus.
Alright, cool. So where I was going with that is, enemy to enemy, there's nothing, right? So the primary gameplay loop of this game is one of the dullest things I've ever found in a third-person melee game, right? And it's just trivial to play, like 90% of the time. Almost all my deaths are because I lost attention rather than anything else, right?
No, I suppose. I suppose it is a bit. It's a bit harder because if the setting isn't doing anything for you, then yes, I think it's much harder to ignore the flaws in the game's combat system, which I would admit can be quite repetitive.
Well, and the thing is, it's just an incredibly.
It's
Oh yeah, well, because I've got 74 insight, right? So I can hear weird things. It's incredibly defensive game, basically, right? Gerhman, how did I beat him? I didn't optimize the way I was attacking him in any way.
Yeah.
I just figured out how to dodge all his attacks. Problem solved. He can't touch me anymore, right? There is nothing where I had to think about how best to attack him at all, really. It was just, oh, he's open, R1, 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 R1. And I just don't buy into that. I don't find that fundamentally fun. I'd rather have played Devil May Cry, right? Or Bayonetta, or any game where your offense requires some thought to it, rather than it being purely defensive. And yeah, like it's why I was so interested, by the way, in Beast Roar, because what I was doing there was like applying stuff I see from Devil May Cry, from Bayonetta, from all the games that I play that are third-person action.
From mixing it up, having a mixture of
and going, well, yeah,
tools and weapons.
Well, I was permanent stunning enemies, right? Effectively, by calculating when I needed a Beast Roar based on my combo, and then continuing to R1 as soon as I'd recovered my stamina. That was actually relatively engaging. If that kind of mechanic existed like more prevalently through the game, I think it'd be more fun for me. And yeah, broadly, I think that primary gameplay problem that I have is then surrounded with a game which has archaic design for me.
Deliberately archaic, yeah. No,
Like, deliberately archaic.
It's not just you. It's deliberately archaic.
Yeah. And again, that's fine if you made that choice. And I think FromSoft are quite clear, which is in that if I quit this game and never play it again, they'd be like, we don't care about you. This isn't the game that we want to make. And that is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Right? They are absolutely in their right to say, piss off, Nat 20, this game isn't for you. And that's okay. But it's also okay for me to then go, well, all of these problems that you created on purpose within the game are problems for me.
Yeah.
And, you know, we found them as I talked through, having to, like, you know, in that fight with Gerhman, where I realistically went, well, hold on, I might not be able to do this with the blood vials I have, so I might have to go and farm. I was able to because, you know, I picked it up fast enough. But if I'm slower on the uptake, I'm not quite as good. If I take longer, I run out of blood vials faster, then I'm farming even more and more. And remember, right, the only reason I never ran out of blood vials again is because between every episode,
Yeah,
I've sat down for 20-25 minutes farming to make sure I've got enough blood vials in the bank. And I looked at recording sessions. I was going through about 100 blood vials per session. And there simply aren't enough in the game to keep up with that. So
I mean, I would say you were probably chugging them quite a lot more than perhaps you needed to. Like you're always taking blood vials at about maybe like 75-80% health.
Oh yeah, but that's because I was activating extra damage because I have full health. That's the only reason I was doing that, because I specifically had a blood rune that caused that to happen.
Yeah.
So blood gem, not blood rune. So the walk back system, there's literally no point to it. Just put the save in front of a boss. Come on. The soul system doesn't add anything other than inconvenience. Like, why do you lose everything? It doesn't make anything more tense. It just means, oh, I've got to grind another 15 minutes, I guess. That's fine. Like, you're wasting my time, but I'm not bothered by it, really.
I guess. I guess it just makes the trip back to go and get your souls. It's got that little bit more tension.
Does it though? Right, it's so trivial to farm everything.
Because then you've got like the threat of like, oh, am I going to die on the way there?
Yeah, but who cares? You just farm.
Yeah, well, okay, well, if it's yes, but you know, farming is not huge. You know, it's not particularly fun. So I was like, oh,
So,
you know,
that's the
I hope
problem, right?
I hope I manage to get back to where my soul stain was and pick it up rather than having to grind.
You're threatening a player by trying to bore them in a game.
I mean, how else do you deter players? How else do you make players? How else do you? I mean, you've got to have some sort of
make it hard.
incentives to not die.
Yeah. So why do you have to have an incentive not to die? Why? Dying sends you back to a save point. That's it. That's all the inconvenience you need. Mario doesn't need to take away anything from you to make it tense when you're at the end of like the final level. You know, RPGs don't need to take away all your items or take away your experience when you die to make it tense. If you die, you die, and you go back to a save point, and you've had some inconvenience. You don't want that inconvenience. You keep going. Why does it need to be worse? Well, it doesn't to me, right?
One could argue. I mean, in Final Fantasy IV, I can tell you, in Final Fantasy IV DS version, I mean, the prospect of having to sit through all the cutscenes again definitely always made me want to made me try my hardest not to die during a boss fight.
I mean, sure, then just put a massive cutscene in front of every boss that's unskippable, right?
But surely isn't that kind of the same as the?
Basically,
you're threatening people with being bored.
Well, so that's the point I'm making to you. Why do we allow people to skip cutscenes they've already seen in a game? When you could just inconvenience them more, and that would make the fight more tense. We don't do it because we recognise that boring a player probably isn't something you want to do.
So what?
Right? And the tension
so it's a tricky question, because I mean, ultimately, you know, what we're saying is, you know, really, you know, the only downside is on your time.
Pretty much, right?
So as long as you've got enough patience, you can do anything.
Well, it's not even. Yeah, I suppose it's patience. For me, right, it just didn't bother me to ever die and lose all my souls anymore. As soon as I realized it's actually just faster, and notably, right, this happened a lot near the end of the game. I fought more enemies on purpose this episode, by the way.
Yeah.
But when I realized you could just run past like 90% of the enemies, get to the next save point or next shortcut, and then farm up whatever you did in much faster fashion, I was like, oh, okay. I guess.
Well, there is that. I suppose also it depends on if you're the sort of person who wants to try and sort of get into the, try and explore things atmospherically as you go,
I suppose
rather than sort of treating it as a, like if you've got that sort of like slightly sort of like optimized strategy frame, frame of mind, then I can see you sort of view things in the sort of this sort of checkpoint fashion. Well, it's all food for thought, and I agree with you in terms of a lot of the criticisms about Bloodborne. I think for me, the setting was enough to keep me hooked, or at least, well, the setting and also just the act of exploring and wondering and trying to figure out what was going on. I think did inure me to a lot of the flaws with the combat and other gameplay mechanics.
And for the record, if you like this game, more power to you. I'm glad you really, really like it. I'm absolutely fine with that. But this is, to me, probably the worst game I've played in about a decade or so. And I can't think of a game that I played that is worse, if I'm honest. That has engaged me less and made me so bored. And that's kind of it for me, I wish I hadn't. I wish this had been more my type of game, but I don't think it is. And if you like it, more power to you. I think you're absolutely fine too.
Well, the way I see it, Nat, is I feel like you would have always have been wondering, in the back of your mind, maybe I should give it a go, and now you've done it.
Yeah,
so
I mean, this was also
know.
part of it, right? I wanted to give this a go to see what it was like.
So I haven't inflicted upon you a grievous experience.
No, I was always going to play one of these games eventually.
Yeah.
This is the one that I picked, and we got to see how it works out for someone like me. And that was worth it. Now, with that in mind, the next game that we're going to play is one I really, really, really want to play, and I'm really excited about. And it is going to be a Mega Man mod called Mega Man Rock and Roll. And I am so excited because it looks amazing.
As long as it's better than Mega Man 10, I won't object.
Oh, come on, anything is... I say that. Bloodborne isn't better than Mega Man 10. But,
Ooh.
Most things are better than Mega Man 10. It's not hard to be better than Mega Man 10.
I can think of games I've enjoyed less than Mega Man, than Bloodborne, and which don't include Mega Man 10.
Bioshock, probably. You hated that game.
Well, no, I mean games that have come out in recent years that I
fair enough.
found less engaging. I won't say it. I won't say it because it's almost too depressing for me to say. But
is it No More Heroes 3?
It is No More Heroes 3. Anyway, and on that gloomy note, we bid farewell to the world of Yharnam. We bid farewell to the Healing Church and all its many mad clerics. What was Master Willem doing? What was Lawrence up to? We'll never know. We'll never know because we have reached the end of this LP and we've reached the end of Nat's patience with this game. But who knows? Maybe one day I will force Nat. I will force Nat in a moment of weakness to make a bargain that he will sit through watching me play through some of the stuff that we didn't get through, just so I can see his reaction to it. And no, it won't have any spiders.
Fair enough. Guys, thank you all very, very much for watching and following through this relatively harrowing LP as things go. We'll catch you with something more upbeat in a little bit. So thanks a lot. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. Check us out on Patreon if you're still somehow watching this. And yeah, we'll get you some awesome Mega Man in a little bit.
Farewell. May the good blood guide your way.